Thank you very much. I am a visitor not only to your time, but to your city. I have come from far away to be with you today. I'm very happy to be in San Mateo. We've only been once before. I know I must look a little odd and unusual to you because we did not dress the same way as you do today. But you see somebody on your streets that you know, and they are not dressed the same as you are, and they look a little different to you. I guess that I would ask you to consider that underneath they're probably pretty much the same as you are anyway. Don't you think? I do too. So although I don't see anybody here dressed what I would say normally for my time, and you must think that I dress rather oddly and wear my hair a little differently and so forth, I would ask you to consider that probably underneath we're much more alike than we are different. And that goes for people who are dressed differently anyway, I think. Well, I was born in Boston on the Atlantic coast, far from your Pacific Ocean. And when I was a little boy and it was winter time, I could just see across the street, on Milk Street in Boston where I grew up, my father and mother's house. I could just see across the hedgerows down over the hill. You could just see the great masts of the sailing ships move beautifully and majestically out of Boston Harbor, out into the Atlantic Ocean. I wanted to go too. I wanted to see the world. I wanted to know if I was going to see anything of the world other than Milk Street in Boston. I had no idea when I was a little boy that I was going to make 8 trips across the Atlantic Ocean and become one of the most widely traveled men of my generation. I had a large family. My father decided that he was going to, that I was supposed to be a minister and go to school to learn to be a preacher. Now, the way that happened was, he was going to put me into the Boston Latin School, as it was called, when I was 8 years old, and I was going to stay there until I was about 15 years old. And then I was going to be going to Harvard College in Boston and studying to be a preacher. Didn't work out that way. I was too fond of jokes and laughter and unserious things to be a good preacher. My father described me as being too saucy a lad. So he took me out of school. And he took me out after only 2 years. Only had 2 years of school. I did not have what you have, which is a good school with teachers who care about you and who know a lot. I missed that, except for 2 years. And I really regret it. I know you don't get up every Monday morning and say, oh, how wonderful, I get to go to school today. But when you don't have it, you miss it. I decided that I was ignorant, didn't know as much as my friends. I was embarrassed. And I had to leave the school, Boston Latin School, at the age of 10. And I decided I was going to do all I could to learn from books, because I could read. Oh, I read from the age of 3, according to my sister Jane. I don't know if that's true, but I I remember that any time I had a little pocket money, I spent it on books. Reading was the door through which I walked to become educated. I love to read. Now, I want to stop for a minute and give you a little advice, because old people love giving young people advice. We do it all the time, whether you want it or not, and we're pretty good at it. So here's my advice. You only have to listen once. I'm only going to give you 1 minute of advice, and that's it. Then you don't have to pay attention to any more advice. If you're a good reader right now and you love to read, don't stop. Read more and more. Read different books. Read books you didn't even know you wanted to read. Every one is an adventure. Every one is a door leading to more further discovery, more interesting things. There's so many interesting things out there, and somebody has written a book about it. If you don't read as well as you like to yet, if you are embarrassed, uncomfortable, uneasy about the fact that you don't really think you read as well as you want to yet, here's my advice. Don't give up. Keep practicing. Is there anybody in this room who could go to that piano in the corner of the room without any piano lessons, without learning anything about the piano, and play a song on it? No. Well, you can't do that with reading either. You gotta practice it. It's like the piano. And the more, guess what? The more you practice, the better you get. Don't give up if you are one of those people who's a little uncomfortable about your reading ability yet. You are worth it. You are worth keeping at it. Nothing was more important to me in my life than reading and writing. Reading and writing well were the keys to everything that I did. When I was 16 years old, I read a book that influenced my whole life. It was a book by a minister, and it was a series of articles on doing good. And the Reverend Cotton Mather, who was the author of this book, said this. He said, the best kind of life you can have, the very best kind of life you can have, is being useful and making a difference. Living a useful life not only helps the people that you are being useful for, but it helps you feel good and feel that you are making a difference in your life.